Welcome back, Hunter. So today, real simple, it's gonna be real quick instructional on how to install cat whiskers. These are pretty much essential and they're really common. Lots of people love these for silencing their bow and making it more effective in the woods. I have only one on my bowstring, as you can see. I'm gonna show you how to install the other coming right up, so stay tuned. Okay guys, so here's what you're gonna need in order to be able to install cat whiskers. First and foremost, gotta have cat whiskers. I went with like a two-tone, if you will. I got blue and I got black. And you know, so you can do whatever you like. You can do just one color. You don't have to do two. Zip ties. Now, a lot of people, they use bowstring, or at least part of a bowstring. And I went with zip tie because it's easier and you don't have to tie knots. I don't know if this is gonna be any better than tying it, to be honest with you. I'm gonna test it out and see. Tape measure, because you're gonna wanna measure from the end of your bow down into the string. You know, I don't know if that's totally necessary, but it makes it so that it looks better, I guess, and probably a little more effective. And scissors, I'm just using my Leatherman. So, it's pretty simple, guys. There's not a whole lot to it. Now, you know, a pocket knife would probably work instead of scissors. However, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if it's a good idea to use a pocket knife around a bowstring. Scissors are kind of risky as it is, but you know, I don't know about a pocket knife. You can try that if you want. I'm not going to. So first things first, tape measure. My other one is about 14 inches from where my string wraps around the end of my bow. So I'm gonna get a quick measure, get a visual so I have an idea of where I'm gonna be working. Okay, so roughly right there. You know, this doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. So keep in mind that if you don't get it exactly right, it's not the end of the world. The idea is to get it as close as you can so, you know, that it looks better, and that's the main reason why you'd measure. So what I'm basically doing is I'm just wrapping this around. You can kind of see. Now, honestly, this is kind of a tricky part. The first one that I installed on the other end, I had a little bit of trouble with this. To be honest with you, I should have got a zip tie out first. So keep that in mind. If you're wrapping this around the string, have a zip tie ready. Don't do what I just did and leave it in the bag. I got the zip ties at Menards. They're extra small. They are 4-inch cable ties. It's a 100-pack by Smart Electrician. I found it in the lighting section. The lighting and the ceiling fans. It's weird, I know. So what you do is you take this, you roll it up. I did a very rudimentary, kind of a crappy job. I don't know that it matters too terribly much though, to be honest with you. Take your zip tie, you find out which way zips right, so that it, you know, clamps. Find the center roughly. And then you begin cinching it down. And I let it unwrap. So that's the tricky part. The hardest part is going to be wrapping this up so that, you know, it stays together before you zip tie it. At least that's what I found to be the hardest part. So then all you do is literally just cinch it down, just like that. So check it out. It's rolled up on my string. Got the zip tie cinched around the center roughly. That's pretty much it when it comes to that. So now what you do is you take these sections of the rubber, the whiskers. Now this is the part that, you know, I'm not an expert in this, honestly. This is the first time that I've ever installed these because I had different silencers on here before. What you're gonna do is you're going to stretch these out. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this while I'm recording it here. My bow is kind of awkward on this TV tray. Just kind of stretch it out so that it puts the rubber taut, and that's gonna make it easier to cut. You know, you wanna leave a decent amount, but you can kind of see they're snapping. These scissors stink. To be completely honest with you, I would not use these Leatherman scissors if you have the Leatherman Micra. I've had these things for like a decade or more, and they're dull. I would not use these. I would just use regular scissors, but honestly, I can't find my scissors. So I'm using these very, 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 very ineffectively. Oh, the other thing you want to do is cut the zip tie. Oh, wow, look at that. They cut the zip tie fantastically. What do you know about that? They won't cut the rubber, though. This rubber is kind of difficult to cut. You'll notice that it's kind of hard to work with. So I'm going to try to do this, in a reasonable amount of time. So basically what you're doing is you're just taking chunks of it. Let me show you here up close. See how I kind of have like two bigger chunks that I broke off? That's just so it's easier to work with, You don't want to try to cut the whole wide section that, like how it came. That wouldn't make sense. You stretch it out, and you just kind of cut it, and it will kind of like pop open. Kind of. Okay, there we go. Now some of them, as you can see here, because I'm doing kind of a poor job of cutting with these dull scissors, some of them are going to be longer than the rest. Now what I did on this one, and this one did not by any means turn out perfect. I would have preferred it to be more spherical, right? But it didn't. It looks all right. But what I did to make it even is I just cut all these. I cut them all first, and then afterwards I went through and I found the long ones. And then I just trimmed the long ones down, to be honest with you. I didn't really worry about it too much. Look at that, that worked better. Oh, okay. Not sure why that worked better, but break off another chunk, stretch it down, cut it. Okay, take another chunk. Again, this is not rocket science, so when you go to do it yourself, don't fret if it's not perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be effective. There might be some science behind it that I'm missing. In fact, can you do me a favor, guys? If you see this video, and like the perfect size silencer ball, right? If you happen to know what the science is behind these, I'd like you to comment in the comment section below. Because I want to know. I'm a curious individual, and I want to know if you know some things that I don't as far as the science goes. I've said this in some of my other videos that, I'm not an expert when it comes to the science behind some of this stuff, right? And sometimes I'll research the science behind it because it's necessary. But, with the things that don't matter as much, I just do it. I do it if it's going to make it more effective, and I don't worry about being perfect and understanding the intricate details per se, right? My end goal is to be effective. So anyway, if you know all the intricate details, please comment in the comment section below. I can't say that today, can I? But comment in the comment section below because I want to know. And I take I try to take advice and tips anywhere I can. So I can't be an expert in everything. Okay, so. Now, I'm going to spare you the details. You see that? I almost just cut my string with those things. That's why you got to be careful with this. I'm going to spare you the details on the other half. I just mainly wanted to show you how this works, right? This one actually worked out quite a bit better than this other one so far. This one kind of turned out a little bit scraggly. I don't know. But it turned out all right. I'm going to do the other half. I'm not going to do it on camera because I think you got the general idea. Really, it just requires cinching it on somehow, whether it be with a zip tie or with a string, pulling these out chunk by chunk and then cutting them. And then the thing turns out pretty nicely. And then you end up with a string silencer that's effective. So until next time, guys, enjoy the string silencers if you install them. Share tips in the comment section below to let me know if you have something that worked out better and more smoothly for you. And if you happen to know the intricate details like I mentioned, please inform me and the rest of everybody here, what those are. Let us know if there's a perfect size or something like that. So until next time, Hunter, best of luck to you and good luck in the woods.